Hey guys, Adam with the AeroWorks Workshop here. I want to go over a good tip for you if you're out there with the Iris, especially if you're out flying with another buddy with an Iris and you find out that your telemetry radios are on the same frequency. You can use this same technique if you're having issues with connectivity, but mainly it's just to verify what your radio settings actually are. So what we've got connected here, I've got my telemetry radio connected to the laptop or the PC directly with a USB cable. I've got my Iris powered up away from the PC. My props are off because I'm indoors, so I have a radio connection between the two. Now the biggest issue, the biggest thing you want to watch here is you do not connect using the connect button here. Where you want to go is under your initial setup, optional hardware, 3DR radio. You'll notice that we are not connected. We're going to go here to the load settings because essentially we have a radio connection currently being established right now outside of Mission Planner. So what we want to do here is load the settings. You'll notice that it's connecting right here. It's going to go out using the telemetry radio connected to the laptop. It's going to Wi-Fi over to the copter, and it's going to bring in all the information about both the remote and the local radio. And you can see here we've got our net ID, our transmission power, and some other information in here. Basically, there's only two items on here that you really need to worry about. And that is your net ID. That is going to be what your telemetry radio is transmitting on. So if you have two buddies with the same net ID of 25, that's going to conflict. You can simply change that to anything you want, any other number. You want to make sure and change it on both sides. And then when you get done with that, you would just simply click the Save Settings button. And then verify that once it's saved that the new numbers reflect both net IDs. You'll notice we're still not connected there. That's because we're connected here. The other thing is transmission power. You want to make sure that that is at the max of 20 and not anything lower than that you didn't inadvertently check that to something lower. So a couple good tips there. Just a real quick short little tip for you about the Iris. Again, this applies to any Pixhawk or APM autopilot that uses the 3DR telemetry radios. That's how you do it. This is using Mission Planner on a PC. Again, it's under the initial setup, optional hardware, 3DR radio, and then you're going to click load settings. Keep in mind you do not need to connect over here because we already have a connection via our USB and the telemetry link. One thing you do have to do is make sure that you're on the correct COM port, because when you plug in that telemetry radio to your USB, your computer is going to assign it a COM port. And in my case, it applied COM 15 to the telemetry radio. Auto, COM 1, TCP, and UDP are always there by default. It's going to assign you a COM port. So one thing I didn't mention in the beginning is just to make sure that you drop down and pick the COM port that was assigned to your telemetry radio, and then go to the initial setup screen, optional hardware, 3DR radio, and click load settings to view the settings on both the remote, which is your Iris, and the local, which is the one plugged in, and verify those settings. All right, hope this helps you out, guys. Thanks.